Hey guys, welcome to the channel. I'm Sheen. Thank you for joining me on my live chat. I'm sure a lot of you saw my title and are curious about what's going on. What did I sell? So I'm sorry to keep you guys waiting. I have to put my kids to bed and all that kind of nonsense before I start making videos. So this is kind of like me time, and so this is when I have some free time to get on the live chat and just spend some time with you guys. Let me know if you hear my audio. Everything is working good. Give me a thumbs up or something. Make sure my audio is working. Good. Thank you very much. All right. How many people we have in here? We've got 18 people. We'll just wait a few minutes, let some more people join in. Thank you guys for joining me. Let's go through the chat. First person here today, Jeff McKay. First person in the chat. Thank you for joining me. I think you were here. When was this? At 7:51. Jeez. Thank you for joining me super early. I'm not sure if you're still in here, but thank you for joining me. Was the first person to be in this chat. Sorry for leaving you hanging, Jeff, but like I said, I have to take care of some stuff, and then this is my me time. So thank you guys for joining me. The market has been pretty strong lately. We saw Nasdaq was up, I think, 2% yesterday. Today, I think it was just up a little bit. What was it? Just up 0.27%. But let's see, Tesla itself was up another 4%. It closed at 1621 today. After hours, up another 0.86% at 1635. So, touching the near all-time highs. I think it did hit 1700 or close to 1700 a few months ago. So, all close to all-time highs, obviously because of the Tesla stock split. A lot of FOMO, a lot of people are just interested in getting in before the actual stock splits. So let's see, we have 43 people in here. So I am going to scroll through the chat a little bit more, and then we'll get started. Bobby DBob, welcome. Thank you for joining me. Thank you for joining me tonight. Brick Hunter, he's selling his soul to the devil to buy more Tesla. I wonder how much Tesla I could buy if I sell my soul, honestly. I thought I would make it a little more interesting, make it more fun. I want to give away, I want to share, I'm making money from this. Albeit it's not a lot of money. I spend a lot of hours researching, Tesla and Workhorse and Diamond Peak and all these stocks just because I like it. And I have to research it for myself anyways, and I'm just sharing my opinion, sharing my information with you guys. And I'm making some money from YouTube. It's not like a ton of money, and eventually I'll make a video about my first paycheck from YouTube when that happens. I'm transparent about everything. It's like anything you guys want to know, just straight up ask me. Anything about YouTube, anything about my stocks. I have nothing to hide from you guys. So I wanted to make this a little bit more interesting, a little bit more fun. I want to see who can guess what I sold today. So if the first person that in the chat gets it right, I'll send them a $25 Amazon gift card. And that's just kind of my fun way of just spreading the love. Like I said, I'm getting money from doing these YouTube videos. So why not just share some of this money with you guys? And I really appreciate you guys watching my content, watching my video. So there it is. If whoever gets it first in the chat, I would find a way to get you an Amazon gift card. And so I'll look through the chat, but before that, just want to talk in general about some stuff. Let's see. Tesla is doing amazing. A lot of people have been, asking me, is it a good time to buy now before the stock split? Is it better to wait for the stock split? And honestly, all right, somebody got it right. There you go. Uber, JT Hawaii. Thank you very much. You got it right. And I believe you are the winner. Let me just scroll up the chat, make sure nobody else got it before you. No, I think you are the first one, so you are the winner. Let me just make sure. If I'm wrong, just point it out. Let me know. All right, Uber, yes. So you are the winner, JT Hawaii. And I'm gonna have to figure out how I could get your contact information. If you want to share your information on here, your email or something, you can. If not, you could probably hit me up on Twitter. Yep. So you could hit me up on Twitter. I don't really actually post that much on Twitter. I don't even know what my handle is. Look in my. Hold on. Let me. Sorry. Let me look up what my Twitter handle is. Sorry, guys. I don't even really post on Twitter. So you could hit me up on Twitter at money_Sheen. Just hit me up on Twitter and I'll find a way to get your information, send you over that Amazon gift card. All right, cool. All right, so anyways, yeah, so a lot of people have been asking me about, if they should be buying Tesla now. So, a lot of people are FOMOing this because of the news. And it really doesn't make sense fundamentally. The stock, just because it splits, I made a whole video. I made like 3 videos about the stock split. It doesn't matter. The valuation is still the same. It's like if you had one banana and then you chopped it up into five pieces, you still have one banana that's just chopped up in 5 pieces. If you have one $20 bill versus $21 bills, it's the same thing. So that is the situation that's going on. But psychologically, what's happening with a lot of people is psychologically they're seeing this Tesla stock is going to be down to 300 and something after the split, and so psychologically a lot more people are going to be willing to buy in, and therefore it's going to push up the market cap. It's going to push up the stock, in my opinion. So this is strictly my opinion. If I did not have all the Tesla stocks, all the shares that I already have, I will not be buying anymore because I don't plan to add to my position. But if I was in a position where I was not a Tesla stock owner, or I wanted to build more into my position, I would take this next, like 2 to 3 weeks before the split happens, and any day that Tesla is down, that it takes a little pullback, because I predict that it will take a pullback, because it's been up like, what was it, 10% yesterday, 10 or 15% yesterday, another close to 5% today. So my opinion, it's just my opinion, who knows what's going to happen, is that there will be a pullback. A lot of people, once they make some money, the traders will pull back and take the profits. So I would wait between now and I think August 28th, when the split happens. I would wait anytime be patient anytime in that time frame to take advantage of a pullback before you overpay, is my opinion. Now after the split, I fully expect it to continue going up. So a lot of more international folks are going to be able to get in. A lot of people that just going to see the news and just see the price that Tesla is now, $300 something. A lot of those folks are going to be buying in, and I think that's going to push up the price. Not only that, S&P 500 inclusion is going to be announced anytime now. I think probably in sometime in August, or definitely sometime in September, and then Battery Day. So there's going to be a lot of news coming out on Tesla to push the stock forward all through September into October and the rest of the year. So that's my opinion on a lot of people asking me if they should buy Tesla now or wait for the stock split. So anyways, so let's talk about this Uber situation. So if you guys scroll back to if you are an OG viewer of my channel, like when I had 100 subscribers or less. That was probably the last time I talked about Uber before the whole illness situation happened. You know, I was investing in Uber, and I'm not a huge position. I think it was probably like $3,000 or $4,000, I think. So the whole thing about Uber was this was the year. This was the year that they were going to be profitable if this whole illness situation did not happen. They made a lot of big moves. Their new CEO, Dara, how to say his last name, Karszewski, something like that. Anyways, Dara is his name. He made a lot of moves, and I talked about it in like one of my OG videos, like probably the 10th video I ever put out. It's an embarrassing video. Don't watch it. Stuff that I used to say before. It's just funny when you look at old videos. But anyways, this was the year that they were going to be profitable. They made moves, and they were all good moves to become profitable in 2020. And that was gonna be the transition where this company traditionally was never profitable. They went IPO in 2019. In 2020, they were going to be profitable. They cut a lot of their overhead. They cut a lot of their markets where they're not the number one or number two player, and they got out of the market, and they let the number two or number three player rise to number one. But what they did was they made a deal with those other players to take profits, to take a percentage of their business. So they would leave the market, and in return, they will have a portion of that company, whatever it is, a 10% stake or 15% stake. So they exit a lot of markets that cut their overhead, cut their expense. So they weren't in those markets, but all the markets they were the number one player in. That's where they focused all their energy. And so that was the key to becoming profitable. And that is when I saw that it was a company to invest in, on the brink of profitability. And so that's why I invested in them. I think was probably at the end of December, early January. And then the whole illness 19 situation happened, and nobody's getting in strangers' cars anymore. So the whole business model went kaputs. So they had a little bit of benefit from the food delivery, but now the news is that they are having an issue in California, which is their biggest market. So their biggest market is in California, and they are trying to pass a proposition where all Uber and Lyft drivers are going to be required to become Uber and Lyft employees, meaning that Uber would have to provide benefits, retirement, insurance. So Uber is fighting against that because number one, they're not set up for that. They would have to expand all their benefits to how many thousands of people, and honestly, the whole driver of Uber, in my opinion, they don't want to be, or a lot of them don't want to be employees, because if you're not an employee, you have the freedom to work whenever you want to work. You could turn on your Uber for 2 hours a day, 5 hours a day. You could work at midnight. You could work anytime during the day. You just turn it on, and you just work whenever you want to work. And a lot of people that have side gigs, side jobs, that's what they use Uber for. So that would really hurt those people, because then if Uber is hiring all these people, then they're going to have to make schedules. I mean, Uber is going to tell you, hey, you have to drive between 12 and 8, and then that's your schedule. If you don't want that schedule, then we're going to find somebody else. That would happen, and that's not what Uber's business model was. Uber's business model was anybody can become an Uber driver, make some side money, work whenever you want to work, whatever your schedule is, whatever you have some free time. So that was the whole model from the get-go. And in California, they're pretty much trying to force Uber's hand, Uber and Lyft, that they're not going to be able to do that. So the CEO has said that they have no choice but to exit out of the market and just leave the market. And so that is probably what's going to happen. The judge did overturn. The judge upheld the decision, and did not extend this time frame where Uber could still operate. So I think it's sometime in August is when the decision has to be made. if Uber is going to be either number one, having all their drivers become official employees, or just pull out of the market. So that is their biggest market. Uber cannot become profitable with, number one, the illness situation. Number two, not being able to provide services in their largest market. So that is bad news for Uber, and even worse news for Lyft. So that is why I exited. I should have probably exited a long time ago. So just to share with you my position in Uber, let me see. So I bring this on the screen here. So this is one of my accounts. I was up 53%, roughly 53.5% on this. And I did not sell out of the full position. I left 6 shares in that position. And basically what I did was I just took my original investment out and then left the rest in here. So this is essentially house money. And I'll just leave it there, and whatever happens with that money. But it was a pretty decent return, 53.5% on that portfolio. And let me see, that netted me. What did I sell it for? It doesn't show it here. So I sold it for it was $30.99. I think it came up to whatever. Do the math. I think it was like $2,000 something. And then in my other account, in my Fidelity account, here it is. Sold for this one. Yeah, sorry, this one it was $2,600. Sold Uber today. Filled at $30.57. And then in the other account, I think it was like $900. So let's see, get me back here. So that is my position. So now I have about roughly $3,000 in cash, and I'm not sure what I'm going to do with it. Where should I put it? If anybody has some suggestions where I should put that money, let me know in the chat. But basically, I have that free money because I decided to pull out of Uber because they are looking like they're going to have some problems. Sorry, I need to plug in my power before I lose power. So that is the stock that I sold, and in the beginning of my live stream, I said I would be giving away a $25 gift card to whoever guesses whoever guesses the stock that I sold. And JT Hawaii was the first one to guess, and so he's going to get a $25 gift card from me. Remember to hit me up on Uber. Hit me up on Twitter, and we'll get in contact to send you that Amazon gift card. By the way, remember about the giveaway. I'm going to also give away a pair of Tesla shorts. I had an email that they were going to come in sometime in the fall. And so whenever I get those in, I'll definitely be making a video. You have to be a subscriber. So I'll do a live stream again, and we'll probably do talk about the giveaway on the live stream. So remember, consider subscribing if you haven't yet already. Give me a thumbs up. I'll be giving away a pair of Tesla shorts, and you have to be a subscriber as soon as I get those in. So anyways, I just wanted to talk about a couple of other stocks. One was Shell, SHLL, Tortoise Acquisition. I have a couple of videos out on Helion. Any Helion investors in this chat? Let me scroll through the chat, see if anybody is saying yes. JTY at Money Sheen. That is my Twitter handle. Just hit me up on there, and then we will try to get you that gift card. So SHLL, yep. So let's talk about Tortoise Acquisition because it was popping today. I think it was up close to, what was it, 20%? Or was it the warrants that was up 20%? So not a lot of news was out about Shell, and it was up 21% today, and it closed at 24.08. And so I don't know if a lot of you guys are invested in Tortoise, but I am invested in Tortoise. I bought in originally, I think it was at $15. Then I sold it when it was up to like $25. Then I bought back in when it was, I think, $19. So I have Tortoise Shell, which is Helion, in a few of my accounts. And so the news came out that the merger is going to happen next month. Sometime in September, that's when the merger is going to happen. And so I think this is going to be one to watch, especially when we see what happened with Nikola after the merger. I think it shot up from like $30 or 20 some dollars all the way up to $90. So this one is a company that, number one, has products on the road, has a usable solution, and is already producing products, and already has relationships with a lot of OEMs. So this company actually can deliver, and they have been delivering. So I expect this Tortoise Helion to do very well as soon as the merger happens, and as soon as they become officially a public company. So I've been buying Tortoise Shell at anywhere in between $18 and $25, and now it has gone up basically up to almost my highest buying point. So that is small position in Shell. Razerhasgame. Yeah, so I think if you guys have not looked into Tortoise, into Shell, check out my video. I probably was like 3 or 4 weeks ago. I think I put out 2 videos about Tortoise, about Shell Helion, and I think that is really one to watch. They are out of Austin, so that is like a couple of hours away from me, not even, probably an hour and a half away from me. And like I said, it is definitely one to watch. So check out my other videos on Helion if you are at all interested. Joshua, what's up? Thank you for joining me. Thank you very much. Thank you for joining me. What's up? How's it going? I would like to buy Shell, still debating. Yeah, so if you are thinking about it, consider watching my videos if you haven't yet already. I'm sure a lot of people are covering Tortoise. So check out my videos. Basically they are converting semi trucks. So there's only going to be really 3 players in this space as of now. It's going to be Tesla with their Tesla semi truck. By the way, they don't have a factory to build that yet, and they are supposed to be wrapping up that in Giga Austin. So probably coming at the end of next year or maybe into 2022. The other player is Nikola. What do I have to say about Nikola? They don't have a factory. They broke ground, and basically there's still a pile of dirt. So who knows when their factory is going to come up? And the other player is Helion. Helion actually has products on the road, and what they're doing is converting basically diesel semi trucks into battery electric conversion, basically giving it a hybrid feature. So think of like a Toyota Prius. So they're basically giant Toyota Priuses, saving a lot of fuel and a lot of costs for these freight liners, for these logistics companies. And so I think that they really have something here. So take a look into that if you are still debating. Can you talk about Blink Chraging? Is it a good buy now? Blink is on a tear, isn't it? What did Blink end today? Let's take a look. Blink ended down today at $11. But after hours, after hours it was up 15.6%. And that's just incredible. Like at the end of June, this thing was $2 and change, $2.55. I think I bought into it. My average cost right now is like I want to say like $6 or $7. So I am up pretty decent on this. Unfortunately, I didn't buy a big position, and I'm kicking myself. I really wish I did. So the whole thing with Blink is, obviously the EV play, there's going to be more cars that are not Tesla coming out, and all these other cars are going to have a place to charge, and they can't charge at Tesla stations. They have to charge at other stations. So Blink is one of them. ChargePoint is another one of them. So if you guys don't know, there's a rumor that ChargePoint may go public and through a SPAC. I believe the SPAC is, don't quote me on this, is it Hennessy? Sorry guys. There is a rumor that ChargePoint is going to go public, and I want to say it's with Hennessy Acquisition Corp or whatever that company is. I think it's HCAC. You know what? Let me look it up. I don't want to say something wrong. If somebody knows in the chat, just spit it out there. But I think it's HCAC is what the rumor is. So anyways, look into it. A ChargePoint also is rumored to going public, and if that happens, that's going to be massive. Think about it. What is Blink? Blink was at, what was it? I already forgot what I said. Sorry, Blink was at $11, and that it popped up from like $2 just a couple of months ago. So, anyways, the thing with Blink is they are going to be making a lot of money. Number one, because yes, a lot of cars are going to need infrastructure for charging, but also there's so many federal and state tax benefits going on right now. Depending on what state you live in, the local government is giving anywhere from like a few $100s to thousands of dollars, tens of thousands of dollars for companies, for individuals to install EV infrastructure. And if you own the strip mall and you want people to come to your strip mall, you are going to take advantage of this tax benefit while it's available. You will get state tax benefits and federal tax benefits for installing these these chargers, not only from Blink but from a lot of companies, but Blink is one of them. That's one of them, and they're going to get a lot of revenue from this. And so it's already happening, and like they're installing Blink stations, hundreds and hundreds of, and if not thousands at a time. So Blink is, I think, it's supposed to be reporting. Did it report today? It may have reported today, or if not, I think it's going to be reporting soon on their revenue. So that is the whole deal with Blink. I would personally, in my opinion, not financial advice, is get in on any dips. Tomorrow is probably not a good day, or maybe it is, because after hours this thing was up 15.6%, and I believe that's probably because they probably reported. That's the only reason why it would be up 15%. So I haven't looked at that. I didn't have a chance yet, but that's the whole deal with Blink. And so yeah, I hope that helps you. Workhorse, any update with Workhorse? No update on Workhorse. They're just chugging along. I think they are going to get a big portion of this contract. I don't know if you watched my previous video. If you haven't, just check out that video. I think I did a live stream, and then I also cut the live stream down into like a 13-minute video. So basically, I'll just go over it. So Workhorse, here's the deal. I think Workhorse will get 50% of the contract if they cannot prove to the United States Postal Service that they can handle the order, because it's going to be roughly 180,000 trucks that they need, the USPS needs. Nobody has said, there's no news on whether it's in 3 years, 5 years, how fast do they need these vehicles. So excuse me. So that has never been talked about. I can't imagine that they would want, they would expect 180,000 vehicles in 1 year. So it could be within a 3-year time frame, 4 or 5 year time frame. But regardless, in my previous video, I discussed this, and also the CEO in the conference call, and I have it in my video, so check out that video. He spoke about their ability to produce these vehicles, and so they said in their heyday, in their factory, which is in Union City in Indiana, the most they ever pumped out of their chassis was, I think, 60,000 in 1 year. So right now, they are not doing that. They're only doing roughly 300 to 400. They're supposed to do 300 to 400 trucks by the end of this year, and so they're not capable of producing that many vehicles. I don't care if it's a 2 or 3 year time frame. They don't have the tooling ready. They don't have the automation ready. They don't have the employees ready. So what are they going to do? My prediction, and they even said this in the conference call, is something that they're looking into is outsourcing it to Lordstown Motors. Lordstown Motors, they have 10% stake in. So when Lordstown Motors does well, obviously they do well because they have 10% stake in that company. So they would outsource it to Lordstown Motors. Lordstown Motors can do it probably for cheaper than Workhorse can do it. That was also said on the conference call. So the CEO did say that Lordstown Motors probably could make these vehicles for a cheaper price. So they would outsource it to Lordstown Motors. Why can Lordstown Motors make it for a cheaper price? Because they have the facility already. They have the former GM facility that is capable of producing 600,000 vehicles. They have all the tooling there. They're already making the endurance truck. And keep in mind, the endurance truck is a Workhorse truck. I don't know how far you guys know about the history of Workhorse, but the endurance truck that Lordstown Motors is producing, that truck is a Workhorse truck. It was called the W15. So that truck, all the intellectual property, the motors, the hub motors, was all worked on with Elphi propulsion technologies in combination with Workhorse. So those motors, those hub motors, is the same hub motors that is going to be inside the USPS trucks. So I don't know if you guys know that. So the same motors in the endurance truck are going to be the same motors inside the USPS trucks. So they are already ready to produce these vehicles, and so they could do it for a much cheaper cost. They have the facility, they have the robotics, they have the automation. They spent I forgot how many millions to renovate the old GM factory to produce these Lordstown trucks, and so they are already capable of producing hundreds of thousands of trucks. So they will be outsourcing, if they get the contract, they will be outsourcing it to Lordstown. So if they can prove to USPS that they can produce all 180,000 trucks within, 3-5 years, then I think they will get either 75% or all of that contract. Now, if they can't prove that they can produce it, I think Ford and Oshkosh will get 50% of it. So that's my deal with Workhorse. So hope you guys found some interesting information that you didn't know about Workhorse on that. Blink stock, I already talked about that about 10-15 minutes ago. I predict that they probably reported, so that is why their stock is up after hours. I didn't look at that yet, but also there's a lot of tax benefits for installing Blink chargers and whatnot. So that is why Blink is definitely a good buy. I would consider picking up anytime there's a pullback on Blink. Colin Phung, best EV companies. Number 1, Tesla, I agree. Number 2, Lordstown. Number 3, Workhorse. I haven't really given that much thought about number 2 and number 3. I like Lordstown only because they're targeting a complete different category. They're targeting the fleet market. Traditionally, these companies buy tens or hundreds of vehicles at one time, and so that is why they could be they'd be targeting a really a market that nobody else is targeting. So I do like Lordstown in that respect. Workhorse, you guys, if you guys have been following me, you know that I have. So number 1, I have a call on Workhorse. I think it's a 2022 call on Workhorse. I think it's like a $35 call. call option on Workhorse, and I have I forgot how many shares. I think over 100 shares of Workhorse now. So I fully understand that if Workhorse does not get this contract, that their stock is going to crash down to probably like $4 or $5. So I do like Workhorse, but I don't think that they are number one. I don't think they're financially stable. They have a horrible balance sheet. I wouldn't say horrible, sorry. They don't have a good balance sheet. They just spent, I think it was like 1.2 million in cost, and their revenue was only like 92,000. So yes, that is due to the ramp up process. They just ramping up and just started producing their C series trucks. I understand that. So hopefully, when they produce more and more, they'll be able to bring that revenue higher and then reduce the cost of goods. But right now, if they don't get that contract, I think they're going to be in for a world of hurt. Mr. Horeta, thank you for joining me again. So Tesla stock prediction around September. So what is it? September 15th is their battery day, and also probably S&P announcement sometime towards the end of August into September. And so what are they trading at? And even with this stock split news, they're already trading at almost all-time highs. What would they close at? Close to 1,700, right? Like 16 something. Sorry, Tesla 1621. So I put out a video back in it was like 3-4 weeks ago that I was expecting Tesla stock to be in the 2400s sometime in August. And I'm still holding that. That is all depending on the S&P 500 news. If the S&P 500 news comes out, it could come out at the end of August, but most likely in September. I think the S&P committee is supposed to meet towards the end of September, like September 22nd or something like that. So anyways, sometimes when companies get into the S&P, it could be anywhere from a few weeks to a couple of months before the official announcement comes out. So we're already at what is like 2.5, maybe 3 weeks ago since their Q2 numbers. So if the Q2 numbers, if the announcement is made, I fully expect, and that's strictly my opinion, that Tesla stock will be in the roughly $2,400 range, and that's obviously before the stock split. So that's my prediction, and coupled with the battery day, I would say definitely in the mid 2000s for sure. John Money and Tesla. I can't disagree with you, man. Let's see. USPS vehicle delivery is 5 to 7 years. Okay. Thanks for that. I didn't read that anywhere, but if that's what it is, in 5 to 7 years, so I mean, I would expect them to have to deliver something at least within the first year or two, though. Because I mean, their trucks right now are catching on fire and everything. So I can't imagine that they would sign a contract and sign a $6 billion contract and say that you don't have to deliver until 5 years. So I would imagine that some portion of that would have to be delivered within the first couple of years. Adam Brown, thanks for the comment. I own Workhorse, but would recommend putting that money towards DPHC, Diamond Peak Holdings. For you guys don't know, that is Lordstown. Or put that money more towards Tesla. Thanks in advance. So are you asking me if I would put that money more towards Tesla? So I'm not sure if you're asking me, but I don't disagree with you. I have obviously some money into Workhorse, but I also have into Diamond Peak. And so, if I had to choose between Lordstown and Workhorse right now today, without any news on this USPS contract, I would choose Lordstown. I think Lordstown is stronger. They have, number one, they have no debt. Number two, they have a massive facility capable of producing like 600,000 vehicles. They have ties with a lot of OEMs, a lot with GM. They're also funding I think $75 million in the pipe investment. So they are producing. They're contributing all the non-customer facing components. So they're tried and true components. They have just this factory that is being revamped to produce next generation vehicles. So of the two, I would choose to put more money into Lordstown than I would putting into Workhorse. But that's only because we don't know about this contract. But even so, like I said previously, if Workhorse gets a contract, Lordstown is going to benefit, because I really, really believe that Lordstown would be producing a big portion of those trucks, of those USPS trucks, out of their GM factory in Lordstown. And put more money towards Tesla. I don't think you could go wrong if you have a 5-year outlook, 5 years or longer, putting money in Tesla. I think you're going to win. You're not going to lose if you have a 5-year outlook on that. Joshua, going to bed? All right. Have a good night. John, why did he sell Uber? So you can look at watch my playback. Basically, I'll just the main reason why I sold Uber is the whole issue in California. They are probably going to pull out of that market, and that is their biggest market. Why they're going to pull out? Because there's a proposition in California that they want all Uber drivers to be Uber employees, and therefore Uber will have to pay benefits, pay insurance, all that, and basically their business model is not set up for that. From day one, that's not their business model. From day one, their business model is anybody could be an Uber driver. You could work anytime you want. You could work 2 hours a day, 10 hours a day, 15 hours a day. So that was the whole business model. And now they're trying to basically destroy that business model. And I think a lot of Uber drivers don't want this, because it cuts into why they join Uber. A lot of them join Uber because it was a side job. They have one job, but they could drive a couple of hours a day and make extra money. But if you are now an employee of Uber, that goes away, because if you're an employee, now Uber is going to say, hey, well, okay, John Smith, your hours are between 12 and 7. So you have to be driving between 12 and 7. And so that wasn't the business model. So anyways, there's the whole situation going on in California. So I decided that it was time for me to get out of Uber. Not only that, being that I am such a believer in self-driving technology and robo-taxi network, I believe Uber's days are numbered. I don't think Uber is capable of doing any self-driving, even though they have some research into it. But I don't think Uber is going to be able to do self-driving, and therefore, when you don't need a driver to drive you around, then you don't need Uber anymore. So that is the quick deal with Uber, just to catch you up. Jim said it was best way for people looking for the next Tesla instead of buying into Tesla. I'm not sure what the conversation was about, but okay. iWinStar, thanks for the comment about Ayro. So Ayro, also it's out of Austin. A lot of these EV companies and a lot of tech is out of Austin. Obviously Tesla is building their factory in Austin. Ayro is in Austin. Texas Instruments. A lot of EV, Nintendo, Samsung, Dell, they all have corporate campuses in Austin. So Austin is really a huge hub for tech, EV, and startups, outside of Silicon Valley. So Aro is one of them. So Aro is targeting basically more like fleets. They're targeting companies that have vehicles that they buy by the hundreds or buy by the tens or hundreds. Think about like college campuses where maintenance people drive around in these trucks. So a college will probably buy tens or maybe 100 of these vehicles at a time. So that's really their market. Think about in a stadium, maintenance people driving around these vehicles. So they're EV vehicles that they're building. So I do like that they're targeting these, but with the whole illness situation, there's no stadiums. The sports is basically on pause right now. There's no people going to the sporting events, so there's not going to be a need for a lot of maintenance workers, a lot of food delivery platforms or things like that, and that's what really Aro is targeting. So, in the next, I would say, year, 18 months, I don't see Aro doing that good. Just my opinion, and the fact that Aro doesn't target the consumer. And so when you don't target the consumer, you don't get a lot of attention. You don't get a lot of press. You're not really on like CNBC. You're not on the news. So you don't get covered a lot. So there's another company, and I think you guys probably know Arcimoto. And so they're essentially kind of building the same thing, these small electric vehicles. But Arcimoto targets the consumer. And they're just a more consumer-friendly company, and so I think they're going to get a lot more attention. And so, if I had to choose between those two, I would be choosing Arcimoto. Julio Castillo NIO, your thoughts? So I've talked about NIO a few times before. My thoughts on NIO is, I think they're going to be massive. I think they're going to be good, but my whole thing is that I would not invest in a number 2 player when the number 1 player has so much growth. So come to me in like 7 years when Tesla is done with their Model Y ramp, already ramping up their Cybertruck. The semi truck is out. They have Giga Shanghai, Giga Austin, Giga Berlin all built out, and they're all fully ramped. And so now they're growing at, let's just say, maybe a 15% compound annual growth rate. So 15%, maybe it's 20%. Then I would be looking at, well, maybe I could put my money somewhere else where I could get maybe 30 or 40% growth rate. So that is when I would be looking into a number 2 player. But right now, in 2020 and 2021, 2022, Tesla has an expected compound annual growth rate of minimum 40%, if not 50%. So it is more safe, in my opinion, to put my money in the number 1 player that has a growth rate of 40 to 50% than putting into a number 2 or number 3 player that is only selling in one country. And who knows what's going to happen with the whole tariff situation. So that's just my opinion. But with that said, NIO has been producing, they were profitable this quarter. Their stock has been performing and their vehicles are performing. So there definitely is room for more than 1 player. But just my thoughts is that if I'm going to put my money, I'd rather put it into the number 1 player, especially when there's like 40 to 50% growth rate over there. ARK is dumb, John Money. I imagine if they kept all their Tesla stock instead of the 10% holding rule. Yeah, I mean, that's typical for funds. They just have to do that because they're dealing with people's retirement. A lot of people put their money in for retirement, and so they can't just put like 60%, 80% in one stock because you really never know what happens. There could be something tragic happen to Elon Musk, God forbid. So they just can't do that just because they're dealing with other people's money, other people's retirement money. So that's why they can't do that. But No, that's why you have the freedom of doing whatever you want with your money, and you could put 100% into Tesla. But being a fund that is publicly traded, they can't do that, and that's just the way it is. All right, so I love interacting with you guys. Give me a thumbs up if you haven't yet already. Consider subscribing if you haven't yet already. Really appreciate you guys for joining me. Let's go through some of these chats more. Joshua, I thought you were going to sleep, man. Sports can't be on pause. If I just finished watching basketball. Yeah, but I mean, I don't think they're allowing fans, right? Correct me if I'm wrong. I don't think they're allowing fans. So it's a whole different thing when there's no fans. All right. Let's see. Any more questions, guys? Tesla will take out the OEMs. Yeah, I mean, I agree with you. Tesla is definitely a beast, and I don't think Tesla's going to get any competition from the traditional auto manufacturers like Ford, GM, Toyota, Honda. Really, I think the only competition is going to either come out of startup EVs like Rivian, possibly Lordstown, whatever, NIO, Xpeng. So like all these more startup companies, I could see competition coming out of there. But for the traditional auto manufacturers, they're just too. I mean, their whole business model is getting other people to make their vehicles, and they stamp their Ford label on it. Their GM, their Toyota label on it. That's what their business model has become. So yeah, that's my opinion. Joshua McGuire, thanks for hosting. Thank you for joining me tonight. If you guys haven't been watching what I sold was Uber. So if you don't know why, just watch the playback. Fast forward to maybe the 7-minute mark. That is what I sold Uber. Regulator, what do you think about AMC reopening theaters this month? Would it be a good stock to make some gains from? Honestly, I haven't been following that market. It is considered a reopening stock. A couple of days ago, the reopening stocks were going up, and all the growth stocks were going down. But that has quickly changed. Basically, a lot of the growth stocks are now up. The Nasdaq was up 2% yesterday, but I don't even know what AMC is trading for. And let me just look it up real quick. Let's see. AMC is up 14% today. And then it was up another almost 3% after hours. And so what is it at $5.31? So in the March lows, it was down to $2.48. Before this whole crash, it was trading roughly in the $7, almost $8. So yeah, I mean, I don't see it as a bad play. My only concern is, what happens in the fall when a lot of kids go back to school, and do we see a second wave of this? So that's my only concern. But can AMC handle another full or even partial shutdown? And also, I imagine they're going to be limited capacity. I don't know if they're going to do 25% or 20% capacity. So those are all the factors that I would consider. So unless there is, when these reopening stocks are going to basically take off, all the cruise lines, the theaters, the restaurants, is when there's a vaccine. When there's a vaccine, like the day that is announced that there's a viable vaccine, you're going to see all this money flow back into all these reopening stocks. So until then, I'm like, I would be cautious about that. So that's my opinion. Thanks for the question. Frank Remy, when will Lordstown IPO dropping? I think it's Q4 of 2020. There's no official date. All we know is Q4 2020. Thoughts on Lucid? Cracker Crumbs, thanks for the question. So Lucid, they're targeting the luxury EV space. When I think their vehicles are starting over 100K. So what it is, the Lucid Air, right? So there's a rumor that it was going to go IPO, isn't it? Correct me if I'm wrong. I just heard that like yesterday or the day before that they were thinking about doing a SPAC IPO, right? What is the rumor? Yeah, they're in talks for possibly a IPO with one of the SPACs. Not sure which one. But yeah, whatever SPAC that is, it would be good to probably put a little bit of speculative money into it as long as the SPAC is trading in the 10, 11, maybe $12 range. So Lucid, I think, is going to be good because they're targeting a different sector. They're targeting more high-end EVs. I guess the Model S, highest of high-end Model S and Model X is capable, to be in that same market. But Tesla is really more focused on expanding to the wide market. With their Model 3, their Cybertruck priced at 39K. And possibly a Model 2. So you could see Tesla is now focusing on the broader market, and so I think they're going to leave. Obviously they'll still be producing the Model S, but even there's talks about not producing the Model X anymore. So Tesla is really transitioning out of the high-end market, and so there is going to be needs to be somebody to fill in that space, and Lucid is one of them. So I think that could be a good play just because they're targeting a completely different market. So that's my thoughts on Lucid Air. Honestly, I haven't looked too much into Lucid Air, but that is what I am. My very superficial and ignorant thoughts about Lucid Air. Victor Cabrera, what are your thoughts on Planet 13? So this is a Jeremy stock. I've watched Jeremy's videos, and I actually originally bought Planet 13 when it was like $1.60, I think. $1.60 or $1.80. And what was it, like a couple of weeks ago, or maybe 2 to 3 weeks ago, I was waiting on Planet 13 to drop down to 150 or 140, and I was gonna load the boat on Planet 13. And I was so pissed when Jeremy dropped that video because the stock was steadily dropping, and I was just waiting there anxiously for it to hit the 140, $1.40, $1.50, and I was gonna buy more. And then he released the video. I think the stock was at $1 and I want to say 60 cents or $1.55, and it shot up to like $2.50 the very next day. And now it is, and he put out a couple more videos, right? And I think it's up to $3.15 today. Let's see, Planet. Yeah, $3.34, up 6.5%. So my thoughts on Planet 13. So I listened to their latest conference call, and basically my thoughts is if the illness did not take out Planet 13, this company is going to be massive. You don't need me to tell you that. Jeremy has been pumping up this stock. and he's very bullish on this stock, and I fully agree with it. If Planet 13 was not taken down by the illness, they're going to be massive. They're expanding into California with their next superstore in I think what is in Santa Monica, and they have brands. They have their own brands out, and those brands are going to be really sticky. People that buy into their brands, it's just going to be like another Coca-Cola, another Pepsi. I think it's going to be a company that has brands are going to be wide market, and if legalization ever happens, then I'm gonna wish that I put everything into Planet 13. So, anyways, that's my thoughts about Planet 13. I think it's going to be massive. I think overall the government needs a lot of revenue. Spent what was like $3 trillion during this whole illness situation. Government debt is in what 21 or 24 trillion dollars. So there needs to be a transition where we need to get more revenue, and things that Planet 13 does, legalizing this thing, I think that is the play that needs to happen for things to turn around. So that's my thoughts about Planet 13. I'm bullish on it. I'm just pissed that I wasn't able to buy more when it was $1.50, but I'm probably going to be putting more into it anytime there's a pullback. All right, guys. So, oh my God, I'm over an hour. So, guys, thank you for joining me. Let me just scroll through, maybe get one more question. Let me see if anybody asked a question. Some of you guys are just chatting with each other, and that's cool. I think there's a cool place to get some information, the things that I've been talking about, and just information that people have been sharing. So appreciate you guys joining me tonight for this chat. So if you guys haven't heard yet, if you joined late, I basically sold Uber, with their whole situation coming out in California, and so also with the thing going on with in California, and then robo taxi, I believe, and self-driving is going to happen in the next maybe 1 to 2 years, robo taxis, and that will be the end of Uber, in my opinion. All right, so Li Auto. I haven't really been following anything about Li Auto, honestly. All right, guys. I think I'm gonna wrap this up. Gennaro Fernandez, don't leave. Please give me your thoughts on UAVS. That is I put a video out on that one. It was a couple of what was it, like 4 or 5 videos ago, I think it was. So basically, the whole rumor is that this company UAVS, AG Eagle, that they were going to combine or have some type of deal with Amazon for the drone delivery. And basically, the thing that sealed the rumor was that Ag Eagle was expanding into Wichita, Kansas, and Wichita, Kansas just happens to be where Amazon was building their new fulfillment center, and so that was the rumor. That was the news that sealed the deal, that everyone thought that this company was combining or working together. But I looked more into it, and this company, Ag Eagle, they're like a very tiny company, like 100 employees or less, and they specialize in agricultural fixed wing drones. So they're not like the drones, the quadcopters or hexacopters or anything like that. They specialize in fixed wing drones for agriculture. So even if you look at their websites, you can see the type of drones that they have. So that's not what they specialize in, and their headquarters, I mean, if you look at their headquarters, you could go on Google Maps and just type in their address for the headquarters, and you'll see like they are literally operating out of I want to say like a shack. So I'm just thinking like, really, Amazon? Why would they need technology from this tiny company? So and that they don't specialize in quadcopter drones. You know what Amazon has been depicting for their delivery service. So that's why I'm like, I don't know about this. So that's my thoughts about Ag Eagle, and that's why I took my money out of Ag Eagle. I mean, it was a speculative play. I think I put like $300 on it, and I made probably like $50. So that's my thing about UAVS. And SPAC. So SPAC is Fisker. So I have a decent position in. I mean, not a decent, but a small position in Fisker, and so they are waiting for September to get their deal for the powertrains. They did have a MOU for the production. Who they're going to produce it out of Austria, right? So they have that, but they still don't have the powertrain. The batteries and the powertrain, and so they are looking to get that from either some other OEM, or they're still in talks that's going to continue in September for the MEB platform. And so as soon as that news comes out and that's solid, that they have a platform that they're going to use, then that is when I think the stock is going to have a little bit more love. So I think they have potential, but it's just so far away. I think they're not supposed to be producing until 2022, and so that's my only thing. I do believe in them, and I have a little bit of speculative money in them, but it's just so long. 2022, a lot can happen between now and 2022. So that's my quick thoughts about SPAC, about Fisker. Yeah, so I think I'm gonna wrap up. So yeah, thank you guys for joining me. Consider subscribing if you haven't yet already. Give me a thumbs up. It really helps out the channel. Appreciate you guys for joining me. In the beginning of the video, I don't know if he's still in here, but remember to hit me up if you're still in here. Who was it? It was like Hawaii, JT Hawaii. Remember to hit me up on Twitter. Let me see if you hit me up. All right, yeah, he hit me up. Thank you very much. So yeah. All right, so in the beginning of my video, I said I was gonna give away a $25 Amazon gift card to whoever could guess the stock that I sold today, and JT Hawaii was the first to guess, and so I'm gonna get in contact with him, send him a $25 gift card. Appreciate you guys. Thank you for joining me tonight. Thank you for subscribing. Give me a thumbs up. Really helps out the channel. Catch you in the next one. Have an awesome night. Have an awesome weekend. Peace.